Hello everyone, Sigma Later here, and obviously Resident Evil 2 Remake has been announced a couple of days ago. I got up at 2 in the morning just so I could watch the Sony showcase, and I'm so glad I did. I didn't know if Resident Evil 2 was going to be shown, so it was a really nice surprise when we did, when they did show it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through both of the trailers that they showed, one that was shown at E3 and one that was uploaded to the website, to the YouTube channel rather, and I'm just going to give my thoughts and impressions on it, even though I've pretty much been watching these trailers solidly for the last 24 hours. We're just going to jump right on in. So this is what I loved about this initial opening, is that it didn't give anything away, even though the first thing that strikes out to me now is Resident Evil Outbreak. Hi! Because when Resident Evil Outbreak got released, the first trailer they showed was from the perspective of a rat. So this is a nice little nod to that. I love the fact that there's a PlayStation there as well, so we're truly back in the 90s here. Of course, this is done in the same engine that Resident Evil 7 was made in, the Resident Evil engine, and it looks so good.
I'm putting you under arrest.
So when I first saw this, I kind of got the feeling that this was a man fighting a zombie, but it still didn't quite click with me that we were seeing Resident Evil 2.
What are you doing? Get off! No! Get off!
Poor rat. Oh god, so cool. I'm glad to see that they're not toning down the violence for this game. And there he is. There's Leon, raccoon police officer.
Jesus Christ.
It looks good. I have no issue with Leon's redesign. There's Raccoon City in all its glory.
Always play.
I think Leon looks pretty good actually, and I quite like the voice as well. I mean, like a lot of people, Hi Marvin! I was disappointed when they announced that the original actors wouldn't be coming back for Leon and Claire.
You do not hesitate.
I have to pause this just to...
Surprised you made it this far.
I mean...
Look.
Look at the detail though. It looks so good. Oh god, I've got tingles still, even though I've watched this so many times. Now, I definitely want to pause here. Look at how good this looks. Look at the detail. Obviously it's the RPD, very nostalgic for somebody like me, because Resident Evil 2 was the first game in the series I played, and I loved it so much. So to see it looking so good is... it gives me special feelings. You can see here Leon's got his original pistol. Nice little attention to detail there. And I like the fact that they haven't gone with pre-rendered backgrounds, because it's really made Raccoon City come alive. Especially like all the lighting, the attention in the brickwork. It just looks so good. Survival is your responsibility. To me, that sounds like Hunk. And we've got a bathroom. We've got a bathroom in Raccoon City Police Department. That's very, very exciting, because there weren't any before, apparently.
God damn it.
Oh, God. Hi, Sherry. Obviously, her costume's a bit different, but it kind of calls back to her outfit, because she had like a little sailor girl uniform in the original, and it is kind of reminiscent of that. But oh god, it's good to see Sherry again. And here we've got Claire. I personally don't mind this model for Claire. It's a hell of a lot better than the Revelations 2 model. I like the jacket. It's still got that biker chick chic to it. I don't know if it's got the her angel on the back of it or not. Maybe that's what the necklace is going to be representing instead. Maybe she gives that to Sherry later, I don't know. Fortunately, this is the only bit we see of Claire in the trailer. So hopefully they're going to be showing off some more Resident Evil 2 later today in a Q&A, so hopefully we'll get to see some more of Claire there.
Of course.
And again, I've got no issues with Claire's voice either. She's obviously, I'm a huge fan of Alison Court. Really disappointed she's not returning for Claire, because for me and so many other fans, she is Claire Redfield. But it's not a make or break deal for me. Actors change. This is just a fact of life you have to deal with when it comes to shows, games, and films. It happens.
It's impressive display.
Now this little girl here, I don't know if it's supposed to be Sherry or not. When I first saw it, I thought, what the fuck is Evelyn doing here from Resident Evil 7? I doubt we'll be getting child zombies. It would be cool if we did, but there'd be a lot of outrage if we were shooting children on Resident Evil. Understandable, considering what's happened in America recently, but still. I'm curious to know if this is Sherry or something else we have to deal with.
Strength.
Our first glimpse of Mr. X in a fedora for some reason. Oh god, this looks so good. Seeing Mr. X back on the screen. Oh, so good.
But we never meant for this to happen.
That's the mayor's daughter. If you remember, those of you who played the original game, Chief Irons, the chief of police, was told to look after her. And, well, here she is dead. Our first shot of the liquor. Straight away, you've got that classic hunched up look, that long tongue, and some poor sod who's had the misfortune of being nabbed. Now, they've obviously changed the location where this happens, because if you look over here on the symbol, it says Stars. So we're outside the Stars office, upstairs on the second floor. So we're not going to see the liquor on the first floor, I think. Looking at the gameplay they showed very early this morning, they have moved where that happens. So you don't see the liquor crawling across the window on the first floor anymore. It looks like it's happening on the second. I'm glad it's still in, because that's one of my favourite moments. Oh my days. There's the liquor again. There's Ada. She looks like she's wearing a trench coat. I don't know if that's done to hide the fact that this is the mysterious Ada Wong, but come on, we all know who that is.
It's coming. It's coming back.
And there it is. Resident Evil 2. Oh, that makes me feel all warm and giggy. Oh. January 25th. I've already pre-ordered. And here's Mr. X looking very strange. Oh, that face is so wrinkly. I mean, he looks awesome. Obviously, we've got another shot of Claire here. I don't get the hat. I don't mind it. It's an interesting addition. But God, look at his eyes. They're like completely dead inside, but also completely manic at the same time. It is so creepy. I'm going to see if I can catch what's in the flash here as well. And look, oh, there he is. Our first look at William Birkin, Dr. B. Oh, it looks so awesome. Gross, but awesome. Oh, I am a very happy man right now. I always feel like I did when I first played Resident Evil 2. That mixture of excitement and fear, and oh, I cannot wait to get my hands on this game. I really hope they release a demo in the future, so I can get some idea of how the game's going to play and how it's going to feel. Yeah, pre-order today. Oh my days, that looks so good. But what we're going to do now, we're going to look at the announcement trailer, because this is a different one.
This is not how I imagined my first day.
So we've got... I want to stop it here for a second, because I don't know whether that was part of a cutscene or whatnot, but it kind of looked like, the impression I got there, it looked like it was a fixed camera angle perspective rather than over the shoulder. There's more examples later on, but there is a rumor going around that there is an option to switch between over the shoulder and the fixed camera angle. I really hope that is the case, because my personal preference is for the fixed camera angle. I'm not a fan of over the shoulder. For me, that was one of the worst aspects of Resident Evil 4 and 5, and it was just terrible for 6. But I'm not going to be too upset actually if it is just over the shoulder camera, because it looks so good and it looks like they've worked so hard to stay true to the original while expanding on it as well, which is the main thing I wanted from this remake. And here we go, our first look at the main hall of the RPD, and it looks glorious on the RE engine. Really atmospheric, and you've got the moonlight coming through the sky, through the skylights, really dimly lit, marble flooring, bloody footprints. We've got the statue back here. She's not holding a water vase anymore, so I'm guessing we're not going to get a key from her anymore. So they've obviously jiggled some of the puzzles around, which is what I was expecting. Eerie echo. And we've got a good look at the streets here, and again, so reminiscent of that first moment in Resident Evil 2, where you first take the controls. You're on the streets, there's chaos everywhere. Well, we don't see any zombies here at the minute, but already you can tell something bad seriously went down not too long ago. Trashed cars, fire, and all the cars look like they're from the 90s, so they've paid so much attention to detail, making sure they've got the car models right. We've got an overhead shot now of the streets, garbage everywhere, cars on fire.
Something's not right.
No, it's not. And see, look here again. I'm not sure if this is a cutscene, but this is another example of why I think maybe fixed camera angles are an option. Hopefully, we'll find out in the Q&A session later today. I will definitely be watching that. But again, it's just so dark and atmospheric. You can't help but not be impressed by the work that they've done. Oh, I can't wait.
Stay back, sir. I got this.
There's the poor sheriff who got killed off earlier.
What the?
And here we go, we've got a closer look at Leon. Again, we see he's got his original gun, hair's on fleek. I've seen a lot of people complain about Leon's face. I don't mind this redesign at all. In fact, I think he looks really damn good. He looks young, like he's supposed to be, because Leon was 21 here and Claire's 19. And I've seen some people, I've seen some ridiculous comments as well. It's like, Leon sounds like a pussy. He doesn't sound like the hero we know. Of course he doesn't. He's a rookie here. This is before he's got all that experience, and he hasn't been hardened by those experiences yet. He's a young, naive cop. His first day on the job. And oh my god, look at that. His jaw's hanging off. Oh, he looks so gross and so awesome. Here we've got another look at the RPD. Again, it's dark, it's raining, it's so atmospheric. You can see, like, obviously Leon's getting wet from the rain. Obviously we've had that mechanic for a while in other games, but it just makes it so much more immersive and so realistic. I'm not sure why we're going down to the RPD this way. Apparently both Leon and Claire do have their separate campaigns, but they do overlap. It hasn't been confirmed if Scenario A and Scenario B are still intact. It might just be that there's one scenario, but both Claire and Leon have their full-length campaigns regardless. So if it's to believe, if that's true, then the story's going to go Claire A, Leon B, and that's going to be the established canon, the established canon story. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I would prefer if they kept the A-B scenarios.
Is anyone here? Jesus.
And look, just this is something else I really want to highlight: the attention to detail and how much work they've put in. They've really gone out of their way to make sure that the RPD looks like it's been overrun and over-sieged. As much as I love like Resident Evil 2 back in the day on the PS1, it was very limited because of the capabilities of the console. So while the place did look trash, there were a lot of things that didn't make it seem as bad as how they've portrayed it here. So there weren't that many bodies. There was a couple of blood spurts around, some broken windows, boarded up windows. But the power was always on. The rooms were always brightly lit. So I can really appreciate what they've done here, like to really ramp up the atmosphere, make it really dark, blood and guts everywhere. Oh, I can't help it. I know I'm gushing and I'm fanboying like crazy, but I can't help it. I love this game so much. Let's see if I can get back there. Just to, again, just to show you what I mean. How like dark it is. You obviously got light coming through the windows. You've got the ribbons and the boarded up windows still. But because it's so dark, you have to use your torch. It really cranks up that atmosphere all the way up to 11. We've got some zombies.
They're everywhere.
Oh. And so here we've got the helicopter crashing at the top. So again, this is looking more and more like Leon B, Claire A, which again is fine because in terms of narrative, it really makes sense, and because they're overlapping, we can see the situations both characters are facing. Looks like as the story progresses, which I think is really cool.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first.
There's Lieutenant Marvin Brunner, or however you pronounce his name, looking a lot less like Will Smith this time round, but it's so cool to see Marvin back. And according to rumour, he's going to have a much larger role in this game than he did in Resident Evil 2, which is awesome. Oh, look at that! The detail that this Resident Evil engine has allowed them to get is amazing. It's so gross. It kind of reminds me of Mirrors. I don't know if you ever saw Mirrors, but there's a scene where a girl gets killed off by having her jaw ripped open. I'm really glad that they haven't held back on the gore.
Help me, please.
Oh, that's the liquor. Oh, do you want to go back a little bit? There's Sherry. Again, here, I'm not sure if this is a cutscene, but this definitely looks like a fixed angle perspective. I hate to keep repeating myself, but this trailer does really hint very strongly at the fact that there could be the option to switch camera perspectives. I really hope that's true, because I would love to play this game from the original fixed camera angle perspective. That's just my preference.
What in God's name?
Resident Evil 2. Oh, I cannot really put into words how happy I am. Oh. Well, that's going to try and come up with some closing thoughts and opinions. Really excited. I cannot wait for this. I've pre-ordered the deluxe version, which comes with some very interesting add-ons. We've got different versions of the Samurai Edge pistol. We've got Chris's model, Jill's model, and I think there's also the Albert model, which is from Resident Evil 7, which is cool because I love that gun. We've got a couple of costumes for Leon. We've got the Arclay Sheriff costume and a Noir costume. And for Claire, there's 3 costumes. A military one. I can't remember what the second one is, but there's Noir. There's a Noir one. And there's also an Elsa Walker skin for Claire with the deluxe pre-order as well. And if you don't know who Elsa Walker is, she was the original female protagonist in Resident Evil 2, what's now commonly referred to as Resident Evil 1.5, before they scrapped that game and scrapped her and brought in Claire Redfield instead. So it's really cool that they're acknowledging Resident Evil 1.5. The deluxe version also includes the option to switch out the new soundtrack for the original soundtrack, which I am so psyched for. I mean, the first time I play this game, I am going to leave everything new, but for a second playthrough, I will definitely be switching out the soundtrack just to see how it fits in, how it works. Oh god, I cannot wait for this game. I really hope there's a demo coming soon, because I'm really not sure I can wait till January to get my hands on this game. What else can I mention? In the gameplay they showed very early this morning, damage to your character is real time. So if you get bitten, you see the marks, the blood stays. Even if you heal yourself, the marks take a while to disappear, which is again something they've brought over from Resident Evil 1.5. So there's a lot of acknowledgement of 1.5. I'm not sure if they're going to be including any other elements from that, like rooms from the RPD for that design, even though they have expanded the RPD station. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. I think I've rambled on long enough. If you liked it, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, guys, and also hit the bell icon to stay notified of any future uploads. I think I will be doing videos covering any more footage released of Resident Evil 2, because I actually really enjoyed making this. But yeah, I'm going to leave it here for now, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.